Hi there! This week, posting an extra video because I really felt like spending a relaxing afternoon coloring. So I thought it was time to get back to this coloring book that I got and I have been neglecting. And I'm going to work on the next page of my self-imposed challenge, which means today I'm working only with red supplies. If you haven't seen my first one color video, I'm trying to color each page of this book using only one color in rainbow order because I think when I'm done, it would be super satisfying to flip through. So today we're doing red, and I was really excited to do this until I remembered why I had not done this video before. It completely slipped my mind that the red marker that's in my alcohol marker set looks like it would be a nice red from its cap, geranium red it says, but it's actually like a maroon and there's no other reds in my set. You can see in my little swatch paper that it's not red at all. It's super dark. So in an effort to have a nice solid like cadmium red, I brought out some paint markers. And as you can see, those are actually really red. So I'm going to use a mix of mediums today. And even though I say I'm going to use a mix of mediums, my videos are not like the other challenges you see on YouTube. I only have like 4 red coloring pencils, apparently 1 alcohol marker that is so dark. And I also have these 2 now paint markers. So it's not that many supplies, but I think this little challenge of not having that many supplies, it's actually a good one to have because, it keeps your creativity on check. I'm also trying a few markers that are not red to use as a background color. Actually, more accurately, I'm using them as an undertone on which I'm going to color with my red color pencils on top. I chose to test these concepts in this pumpkin first instead of using it straight on a large area of the drawing. I gave it all a base of brown alcohol marker and used the red acrylic marker for the berries. And I actually used my supposedly red alcohol marker on the leaf. As you can see, it's not red at all. And I went over all of this mix of not red colors with my red coloring pencils, and I decided it works. So I felt a little bit more confident with the tools I chose. They are kind of limited and weird, but I was still happy to get coloring, so onward. I decided to start my coloring by painting all of the things that I actually wanted to be like a nice, rich cadmium red with my paint marker, so it would give me a better idea on how to approach the rest of the page. I painted the letters from the sign, the awning on the little camper, and then the raccoon sweater. After doing that, I started to test what other markers and colors blended together well to create shades of red that I could use for the rest of the page. The ironic thing is, as soon as I finished coloring the page, I received a beautiful set of alcohol markers that Artex sent as a gift to me, and I think it has 4 different shades of actual red. I looked at them just before starting this voiceover and I was so inspired by all of the colors that you'll probably see me doing the orange page sooner than later. I really, really want to use them. Okay, so I used an orange alcohol marker to paint the whole camper, and of course, turn that into a bright, happy red. I thought orange made the best undertone to use in such a large area of the drawing. So I went over it with all of my red color pencils until I got a color I was happy with. And of course, when I finished coloring it, it looks like a fire truck. Not like a camper anymore, but that's to be expected with red, I guess. I used the geranium red, the one that doesn't match the cap because the real color is actually auburn marker to paint the tires and some of the details inside. I thought it was perfect for everything that's supposed to be super dark. And then most of the details of the vehicle I colored with brown or pink alcohol markers and then changed the hue to red with my colored pencils. Now, I understand I could color the entire thing with only my colored pencils and not use alcohol markers first, but for me and me alone, I need to sit down and finish the whole page in that same day. If I don't, it sort of takes away from the enjoyment and relaxedness for me, and the chances of me coming back to it and ever finishing it are slim. So putting down a layer of alcohol markers first allows me to finish in one day. The windows, I think I really messed up. I wanted them to somehow look lighter and maybe even transparent, but I don't think it worked at all. So I ended up using many of the colors and mixing them with the white color pencil, which of course lightened the reds into light red, also known as pink. I mean, we already did pink, but I thought it was okay to have a little bit of it. Not pink, light red on the windows. Once I was happy with how the truck looked, I was ready to move on to the suites on the roof. And again, for the whole roof, I used my red alcohol marker. It doesn't look red at all, but again, here it works. Then I brought back my paint markers to color the berries and other details from the desserts. I also painted the whole syrup on the pancakes using a different paint marker because I noticed the shade was different enough. Now, here's my 2 cents if you're using paint markers for coloring on paper. I would definitely go with the Artex because the Posca lifts up the paper. It kind of scrapes it off even if you do just one layer. I think this happens because the type of marker that you shake and pump is much juicier. So the Poscas are juicier and better to cover large areas that are not paper. Also, the Artex give you a smoother finish, probably for the same reason that they're not as juicy, that it's easier to add color with colored pencils on top of. And this helps you to create shadows and making the whole thing match. I had fun coloring the raccoon with my dark red and then playing with all of the color pencils on the rest of his face. I would have never thought about creating a monochromatic character, and I actually quite like him. I needed to finish all of those suites, which were already painted with my pink alcohol marker, and then it was a lot of layering of red color pencils on top. I had to layer pencils way more on this page than on the pink one, and that little pencil dust did go all over the page, staining it a bit. It's not noticeable on video, but it was there. So at the end, I did also seal this page with my spray varnish to keep all of that color in. For the little marshmallow cat on top, or maybe it's cat-shaped butter, whatever, I chose to do only a light red shadow and blend it with the clear alcohol marker to match the style of the whole page. I really loved how it looked being mostly white with the red accents, and I think it's actually nice to have that big white element to give our eyes a rest when you look at this very red page. Did the same thing for the pancakes, kept them light, and I finally painted that puddle with the darker color. And here's my red coloring page. I have to be honest, I actually like it, and I'm happy that even though it used many other colors, the page as a whole still looks red. Thank you so much for keeping me company as I enjoyed a quiet afternoon of coloring. I hope to see you on my next video and that you have a wonderful day. Bye!